Hi, everyone. This is 3 questions in 3 minutes for Black History Month with Dr. Monique Snowden, our interim provost and senior VP of fielding. So we're going to dive right in. Monique, I'm going to ask you 3 questions in 3 minutes. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So first question is, who's one person in Black history that's made the most impact on you and why?
I would say Booker T. Washington, the educator and founder of Tuskegee Institute. My personal connection with Booker T is that my high school was the oldest Black high school in Houston, originally called Colored High, and then renamed Booker T. Washington around 1928. And so I remember having these wonderful opportunities in the hallway. It started with "Good morning, Booker T." But Booker T, he was one of the last of generation Black leaders who were born into slavery and became a prominent voice for former slaves and their descendants. And there's a statue of him at Tuskegee, and the inscription says he lifted the veil of ignorance from his people and pointed the way to progress through education and industry.
Nice.
So really, really strong. And then Washington himself once said, "A race like an individual lifts itself up by lifting others up." So
wonderful. Thank you. That's a good one. Okay, number 2 is, tell us about one way that your cultural heritage contributes to a positive environment here at Fielding.
Well, I would say when I think about cultural heritage, mine comes from having been a native of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which basically, there's a lot of, in Pittsburgh, the history is around steel. So there's a lot of visual things there that I kind of bring forward in my own work, like for instance, the water, the rivers there, fluidity and bridges of connection and all these tunnels there always makes me think about the passages we take and how the mountains basically always felt for me like these were goals. And then finally steel persistence, So bringing all those things forward, but being shaped in this town where rivers and steel mills really meant a lot of hard work, blue collar workers. And so, so my heritage, although just simply being African American, has always been about, coming from a hardworking people, blue collar people who had the education in the backdrop because Carnegie Mellon and Andrew Carnegie, the steel mill bearer, and he was a philanthropist that really pushed higher education forward. And he's still seen in so many different ways. And so I try to bring that forward. I feel like that, I'm a Pittsburgh person here in Santa Barbara, trying to bring, a little bit of the steel to town. So.
I like that. That's a nice metaphor. And then the final question, just quickly, is what one thing, I know you're working on a lot of things all the time, but what's one thing you're working on right now that could positively impact the lives of Black people?
Well, I've been working on trying to bring forth this iconic voice from the past, civil rights activist Nina Simone. And she once saying, "Oh, what a lovely, precious dream to be young, gifted, and Black." And so, but in my own research, the reality is that implicit bias too often negatively impacts teacher discretion in terms of recognizing giftedness in Black students. So I've looked at that from a recruitment and retention standpoint, who goes to college or whatever. But these days I've been thinking about what it means to be not so young, still gifted, and unapologetically Black. Right. And I say, oh, what a lovely piece of dream that is, because that's where I'm at in my life. So really working on trying to connect, from youth to getting older. And what does that mean as we are seeing relative to our strengths and talent and giftedness as Black people as we move through our lives from being young to older, and how can we contribute to society?
Wonderful. That's great. Thank you so much for your insight today. We're going to post this on Facebook and people can like it and comment. And I thank you for your time, Dr. Snowden.
Thank you. 3 on 3. Love it. Bye-bye.
3 on 3. Bye-bye.